The room was locked from the outside, but something inside it started knocking. And I was the one who locked it. At first, I thought it was just noise. Then I heard something else. I was working overnight at a distribution warehouse just outside the city. Massive place, rows of shelves stretching into darkness, sections barely lit, corners cameras didn't fully cover. After midnight, it was usually just me. No supervisors, no forklift drivers, just silence and the hum of fluorescent lights. My job was simple: walk the aisles, check inventory zones, make sure nothing was out of place. Most nights, nothing ever happened, and that's what made this night different. Because something did. Around 1:40 a.m., I was near the back section, Zone C. Storage units that hadn't been used in years. Old equipment, broken pallets, locked rooms. That's when I heard it. A soft, dragging sound. At first, I thought it was something falling, maybe a box shifting. But then it came again. Slow, heavy, like something being pulled across the floor. From inside one of the locked storage rooms, I stopped walking, listened carefully. The sound paused, then continued. Closer to the door now. My chest tightened. No one was supposed to be back here. I approached the door slowly. It had a padlock on it, still sealed, still untouched. But the sound inside was real. I knocked. Lightly. Hello? No response, just silence. Then a single tap from the inside. Not loud, not aggressive, just one knock, like something answering me. My hand dropped from the door immediately. Something wasn't right. I stepped back and reached for my radio. Control, do we have anyone scheduled in Zone C? Static. Then a reply. No one's in that section. My stomach dropped. I looked back at the door. The lock hadn't moved. No scratches, no damage, which meant whatever was inside had been there already. Then the handle moved. Slowly, just slightly, even though it was locked. I froze. The metal creaked. The door didn't open, but something behind it was trying, testing, pushing. I stepped back further. Every instinct told me to leave, but I couldn't move. I was stuck, watching that handle, waiting for it to stop. It didn't. Then, a voice came from inside, low, dry, almost whispering.
Help me.
My heart skipped. It sounded human, too human. I leaned closer again. Who's in there? No answer. Then,
You locked me in.
the words didn't feel right, like they were being repeated, not spoken naturally. I grabbed the key ring from my belt. My hand was shaking. Every part of me was screaming not to open it, but the voice kept speaking. It's dark.
Please.
I slowly inserted the key, turned it. The lock clicked. Louder than anything I had ever heard, and instantly, the voice stopped. Complete silence. No movement, no breathing, nothing. I stood there for a few seconds before pulling the door open. The room was empty, completely empty. No person, no boxes moved, no signs of anything being dragged. Just dust, untouched. I stepped inside slowly, checked every corner. Nothing. But as I turned to leave, I noticed something on the inside of the door. Scratches, deep, repeated, like someone had been trying to claw their way out, and written between them, over and over again, in uneven lines, were the same words. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. I backed away, locked the door again, and walked out of Zone C without looking back. I didn't finish my shift, didn't report it, didn't tell anyone. because I knew what they'd say. There was no one in that room. There never had been. But sometimes, when I'm alone, in complete silence, I still hear it. A soft knock, followed by a voice that sounds exactly like mine. You locked me in. It was supposed to be my first easy night shift. I had just started working security at a nearly empty office tower in downtown. Most companies had switched to remote work, so after 8 p.m., the building was basically dead. At around 9:17 p.m., I was sitting behind the front desk, scrolling through my phone, when every screen in the lobby flickered at once, then went black. A second later, the emergency system kicked in. A robotic voice echoed through the building. Security lockdown initiated. Please remain where you are. I frowned. I hadn't pressed anything. Before I could even stand up, all the glass doors around the lobby sealed shut automatically. That's when my radio crackled. Control to lobby. Did you trigger that? It was Farhan, the only other guard on duty. No, I said. System just activated on its own. That's not possible. A loud metallic clang echoed from somewhere deep in the building. Then another. Like something hitting elevator doors. I rushed to the monitor panel. Most cameras were offline, but a few emergency feeds were still working. One camera showed the 12th floor hallway, empty. Then a man stepped into frame. He was wearing a black suit, but something was off. His movements were too slow, too stiff, like he was learning how to walk. Farhan, I whispered. There's someone on 12. No response. Farhan, the elevator indicator lit up. 12 to 11 to 10. I felt my chest tighten. The elevators weren't supposed to be working. He appeared on another camera. Closer now. His head turned slowly toward the camera, and I swear to God, he was smiling. I ran to the emergency exit. Locked, of course. Everything was locked. Then my radio came back to life, but it wasn't Farhan. It was my own voice. There's someone on 12. The elevator stopped. Floor 1. A soft ding. The doors slowly opened, but there was no one inside. And then I saw it. He wasn't inside the elevator. He was standing behind me. Don't turn around. I ran. They found Farhan dead. But the report said the lockdown was triggered using my access code at 9:16 p.m., 1 minute before everything started. And sometimes, late at night, my phone records a message from my own number. He's already inside. It was a normal day until a substitute teacher walked into our room. Something about him felt wrong immediately. The kind of wrong you don't understand, but your mind refuses to ignore. The classroom had its usual chaos, chairs scraping, quiet conversations, phones under desks, and half the class pretending to pay attention when the door opened. Nobody reacted at first until he walked in, tall, still, quiet. He didn't greet anyone. He just stepped inside and closed the door behind him. He stood at the front of the room without saying a word. No introduction, no name, no instructions, just looking at us. It wasn't a casual look. It felt like he was counting something, one by one, slowly. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. It felt practiced, unnatural, like someone imitating a human reaction rather than actually feeling it. A few students shifted uncomfortably in their seats. No one spoke. Take attendance. His voice broke the silence, flat, controlled, almost too calm. A student near the front hesitated, then started calling names. Each response echoed through the room. Everything seemed normal until the counting began. 28, someone said after finishing the list. The substitute's head tilted slightly. Count again. No explanation, no tone change, just a simple command. The room grew quieter. Students began counting again, more carefully this time. Heads turning, eyes scanning, whispers forming. Then someone said it again, 28. But this time, their voice wasn't as certain. The substitute slowly walked toward the phone mounted on the wall. Each step was deliberate, measured, almost too controlled. He picked up the receiver and dialed. The room stayed silent. Everyone watched him. He spoke into the phone. Yes, room 214. No substitute was assigned. A pause. His expression didn't change. Understood. He hung up, then turned back to us. And there should be 29 students. His words landed heavily. Not a guess, not a question, a statement. A few students chuckled nervously, but no one actually laughed. Something about the situation made it impossible to relax. He walked to the door, closed it, then locked it. The click echoed louder than it should have. That sound alone changed the mood instantly. People straightened in their seats, phones were lowered, attention sharpened. Everyone remained seated. His tone hadn't changed, but now it felt more serious, more aware, like he was confirming something that had already been decided. He pointed toward the far corner of the room. There should be someone there. Everyone turned. At first, nothing seemed unusual, just an empty desk, still, quiet, normal. Then someone whispered, "I think someone was sitting there." Another student nodded. "I saw that too." Confusion spread across the room. It was subtle, but shared by multiple people. That made it worse. The lights flickered, just for a moment, a brief dip in brightness, but long enough for something to feel off. People blinked, looked around, and then noticed the desk again. Someone was sitting there. A student, still, quiet, facing forward. No one had seen them enter, no chair movement, no footsteps, just present. Everyone froze. The room felt tighter, heavier. Breathing became noticeable. Eyes locked onto the corner desk, trying to understand, trying to confirm reality. Then, the lights flickered again. Short, sharper this time, and when they stabilized, the desk was empty. No one sat there anymore, no movement, no explanation, just absence. The substitute slowly spoke again. "Now there are 29. His tone hadn't changed, but something about the way he said it felt final, like a conclusion had been reached, not discovered, decided. The room stayed silent. No one spoke, no one moved. Then the phone rang. A student answered it, hesitantly. After a brief pause, they hung up. Their face went pale. They said, attendance was already finalized. They said there are only 28 students in this class. Everyone looked around the room again, counting, checking, comparing, trying to confirm what was real. But this time, no one was sure anymore. And when someone slowly looked toward the corner desk again, a student was sitting there once more, smiling. And this time, no one could remember when they arrived.